on, beer tubers? It's Erik back at you with yet another beer review, and we're kind of in the old area here. Um, I got a new beer today, and very excited to give it a try in cans, as I was not a fan of it on draft. This is none other than the Surly Brewing Company's latest release in collaboration with the hip hop group here out of Minnesota called Doomtree. If you don't know Doomtree, check them out. They're actually pretty good. You might find yourself pleasantly surprised. They don't do anything anyone's way. They just do what they do. Kind of like Surly. Surly doesn't do anything any, spot-on stylistic way. So when they got together to brew this beer, they wanted to kind of express both their, creative tendencies and come up with something a little off the beaten path, and that's exactly what they did. They talk about bastardizing and Americanizing a style. Well, they chose a Biere De Gardge, and if you don't know Biere De Gardge, check out some BJCP stuff. It honestly isn't my favorite style. It's a little too Belgian. I guess I like them well enough. I think they're hard to make well. So anyways, they hop the hell out of this one. It's pretty. I don't want to say it beats off the path of the malt too much from what you could find, but it does pour out quite dark. So here's their attempt at Biere De Gardge. Again, ruby red, kind of looks deeper than a Furious, if that gives you a baseline to look at. Really, really kind of hazy. So I guess you'd expect that. But let's go ahead and dive into the nose. Yeah. Immediately I smell like this really overly toasty, spicy hop and yeast character coming through. There's a slight roasted malt note. There is some really intense breadiness. Wow. Aromatic malt really is coming through here, and it does talk about using it. But yeah, kind of get some of this phenolic-y, bubblegummy yeast quality. Big caramel, slight little bit of vanilla. Overall, there's a lot going on here in this beer, so let's get the taste. Cheers. Okay, weird. Remember that toasted character I talked about? Yeah, it's heavily present here. Jesus. This dark, old, toasty, aromatic, subtly spicy, bitter, enough dry hop brew. Best enjoyed cold. Well, it's definitely cold. Yeah, I get this just overly toasty caramel note. Big surge of bitterness. Some slightly floral notes from the dry hopping. Big Belgian characteristic definitely coming through. Kind of chewy. Medium bodied. Not exactly refreshing. It doesn't carry this quaffable quality that a lot of these Surly beers generally do. It doesn't really make me want to go back and have a second or a third, which I guess is good. Yeah, it's definitely a Surly take on the style. And not saying they needed to conform to guidelines or the style, but there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of malt pulling in caramel ways and toasty ways, slightly roasted, a slight hinge of chocolate. This bubblegummy yeast, phenolic, spicy yeast character. Typical, kind of reminds me of Senegal with that spicy note. There's kind of some floral grassiness from the hops. Overall, just a weird beer. God, I don't know if this is what I would have made. But hey, they're canning it now. I'm excited to have another canned release. I think it's good. It's just not my favorite. So I can't really like slight them brewing wise for this beer because it is well, like, no, it's really not. There is too much going on. It's like there were too many chefs in the kitchen throwing ingredients around, and this is what we ended up with. Kind of a confused final product. Doesn't want to be a multi beer. Doesn't want to be yeast driven, hop forward. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of flavors that I don't really think work too well together. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go an 82 out of 100. I think that's a fair score for this beer. It's like I said, it's clean. It's surly beer. It's I guess whatever. Not much else to say about the Doomtree collaboration from Surly Brewing Company and Minnesota's own Doomtree. But with that said, bangarang.